What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in to break down all of the rewards and loot table for the Vault of Glass returning to Destiny 2 this season. So, alongside the raid, the majority of VOG's original rewards are returning. So we'll cover the weapons and roles, which encounters specific weapons and armor pieces drop from, and then additional rewards, exotic drops, secret chests that we're going to find in the raid, as well as title requirements in the video. So I hope this video is helpful guys, and let us know down below what you're most excited for with the returning Vault of Glass. But now, let's get into it. And so to speak about the loot table first, the drop pools for each encounter are clear via the spoils chests for the raid, which we can see in the database. So we are going to see the return of the spoils currency in the vault as well, with encounter chests and a final chest vendor like the Deepstone Crypt has, where we can repurchase raid rewards for different roles and things like that. The individual encounter drops include legendary Vault of Glass weapons and armor. And so firstly, for the Conflux encounter, the cache is listed as having a chance to award arms from the armor sets, as well as class items, and then the Found Verdict shotgun, Vision of Confluence scout rifle, and Corrective Measure machine gun. Next there is the Oracle spoils chest, and this one has the chance to award arms once again, as well as legs from the armor set, and then the Found Verdict, as well as Praedyth's Revenge sniper, and the Vision of Confluence once again. The third encounter, Templar, has a cache with the chance to award arms, as well as the chest piece from the armor set, and then the Fatebreaker hand cannon, and once again, Vision of Confluence and Corrective Measure. But for the Gatekeeper encounter, you've got the chance to get legs, as well as the helmet from the armor set, and then the Found Verdict, Fatebringer, and Heathen Vengeance rocket launcher has the chance to drop. With the final encounter, Atheon, able to award chest pieces, helmets, as well as Praedyth's Revenge, Corrective Measure, and Heathen Vengeance. So those are the specific encounters where those legendaries are going to drop most commonly. There are also time-lost versions of the legendary weapons, kind of like the Adepts would see in other activities, and these will most likely be linked to the Master version, which will drop a bit later on. We'll touch on those perks momentarily, but additional drops for all versions of Vault of Glass include 2 shaders. So there is the Corrective Protective shader, and this one drops when you complete the Vault of Glass raid without dying, so it does require a flawless completion. There's also the Bitter Pearl shader, and this one's awarded after finding all of the collectibles hidden within the Vault of Glass. And according to that list, there are going to be 12 of those in the raid, so that'll be pretty interesting. And then there is a Master Difficulty exotic ship, and this one drops when you complete the Master Glass of Triumph on a Master Difficulty clear. There will also be 4 hidden chests in the raid according to Triumphs, and these are separate to the loot chests that we get at the end of encounters. And we get 2 emblems for the raid, so Infinite Reflections will drop when you complete any version of the Vault of Glass, but also the Exotemporal emblem, and this one drops when completing all encounter challenges within the first 24 hours. There's also an Eververse bundle listed in the database right here, and it's called Victory Over the Vault bundle, and it says it contains 5 synthweave templates, as well as 2 Vault of Glass shaders. And those shaders themselves do actually list completing the Vault of Glass raid to unlock it via Eververse, so not sure if those items are going to have any drop chance in actual gameplay, or whether they're purely associated with the store. Certainly hoping we'll be able to see them through gameplay, but we'll have to wait and see. But that does it for additional rewards that we're going to get via the raid. But to talk about the gear a little bit, of course the Kabar set of armor for the Titans, as well as the Prime Zealot set for Hunters, and Heathen Lord set for Warlocks, are all returning. They are the kind of original versions from Vanilla D1. In terms of the weapons, Fatebringer is now a kinetic hand cannon in the adaptive frame archetype. It can get a new perk called Rewind Rounds. When the weapons magazine is empty, it refills from reserves based on the number of hits. But also Killing Wind and Tunnel Vision, where reloading after defeating a target greatly increases target acquisition and aim down sight speed for a short duration. But then can also roll Osmosis, Thresh, and Explosive Payload in the first trade slot, with Eye of the Storm, Kill Clip, Frenzy, Opening Shot, as well as Adrenaline Junkie, where grenade final blows grant bonus damage and handling for a moderate duration. And finally Firefly, and precision kills with the weapon increase reload speed and cause the target to explode, dealing solar damage to nearby enemies. Praedyth's Revenge is going to be a kinetic sniper in the rapid fire frame archetype, and you can get Quick Draw, Osmosis, Rewind Rounds, No Distractions, Moving Target, and Feeding Frenzy in the first slot, with Adrenaline Junkie, Opening Shot, Frenzy, High Impact Reserves, Kill Clip, or Firefly in the second slot. The Vision of Confluence Scout Rifle is a solar precision frame scout, and for traits it can roll Tunnel Vision, Wellspring, Surplus, Rewind Rounds, Killing Wind, and Zen Moment in the first slot, with Firefly, Kill Clip, Disruption Break, Frenzy, Thresh, and Full Auto Trigger System in the second slot. And so they're giving us flavors of weapon rolls that are somewhat similar to the original versions. Found Verdict is an aggressive frame arc shotgun. It can roll rewind rounds, surplus, unrelenting, slide shot, auto-loading holster and full auto trigger system in the first trait slot, as well as Demolitionist, 1-2 punch, opening shot, frenzy, killing wind and vorpal weapon in the second trait slot. Then there is Corrective Measure, avoid adaptive frame machine gun, and we can roll surplus, feeding frenzy, rewind rounds, subsistence, demolitionist and dynamic sway reduction in the first trait slot, with adrenaline junkie, thresh, one for all, tap the trigger, high impact reserves and firefly in the second slot. Demolitionist adrenaline junkie could be a pretty interesting configuration on the weapon. Then finally there is Heathen Vengeance right here, aggressive frame solar rocket launcher, and it can roll tracking as well as quick draw, auto-loading holster, impulse amplifier surplus and overflow in the first slot, with vorpal weapon, lasting impression, demolitionist, wellspring, thresh, and cluster bomb in the second slot. Once again, there will be time-lost versions of the legendary weapons later on, and we'll have to see exactly what benefit they're going to have, if any. But of course, the Vex Mythoclast is the exotic weapon for the raid. In Destiny 1, it was a random drop from Atheon, and so it's entirely possible we'll see a similar thing right here. Although it's also possible that it could be converted into a quest weapon or something for Destiny 2. However, a quest currently is invisible in the database, but Timeless Mythoclast is the exotic bonus, and the weapon fires a single bolt with each trigger pull. And then it also has Temporal and Limiter in Destiny 2, where defeating targets builds stacks of overcharge. And this allows the weapon to swap firing modes, and in alternate firing mode, we can hold the trigger to charge up and fire more powerful linear fusion shots. And so that's going to be a bit different to the original version. And of course, there is the Fatebreaker Seal, the new title for Vault of Glass. And the triumph list for this includes completing any version of the Vault of Glass, looting all 4 of the hidden chests in the raid, collecting all 12 of the hidden collectibles, and then completing all encounters of VOG with a full fire team of clanmates, with a full fire team of Arc subclasses, Solar subclasses, as well as Void subclasses, and one with a full fire team where all Guardians are the same class. There's Break No Plates to complete the Waking Ruins encounter while not losing a single sync plate to the Vex. Triumphs to complete all of the challenge modes, so one for each of the encounters. Dragon's Den to complete the Conflux encounter while defeating Wyverns with only super damage, so Wyverns confirmed. 1 to not defeat any Hobgoblins during the Oracle's encounter, completing the Templar encounter while never blocking a teleport, the Gorgon's Labyrinth encounter while defeating 2 or more Gorgons within 3 seconds of each other, and the Gatekeeper encounter while only using Relic super damage to defeat Praetorians, and then defeating Atheon without destroying any Supplicants, which could be pretty tricky, and finally completing Vault of Glass on Master difficulty and all encounter challenges in Master difficulty. There are also finally some Vault of Glass armor mods to take note of here, so they include things like Aggressive Oracle Disruptor, where equipped auto rifles, fusion rifles, grenade launchers, trace rifles and rocket launchers deal additional damage to oracles. Anti-Oracle, where defeating an oracle grants you super energy. Anti-Praetorian, where defeating Praetorians grants super energy, and then Precise Oracle Disruptor, your equipped bows, hand cannons, linear fusion rifles, scout rifles, and sniper rifles deal additional damage to oracles. Then there's also one for pulse rifles, shotguns, sidearms, SMGs, and swords. And then we have Superstructure Defender, while you're standing on a sync plate or near a Vex conflux, weapon attacks that hit powerful Vex combatants have a high chance to weaken those combatants. Superstructure Medic, and when you're standing on sync plates or near confluxes, weapon attacks that hit powerful Vex have a high chance to create a burst of healing for you and allies nearby. There is also Vex Breaker, Destroyer, and Striker, where defeating Vex with melees, grenades, or precision hits has a chance to spawn an Orb of Power, and multiple copies of those mods will increase the super energy granted when the orbs are picked up. Of course, they are bonuses that'll be active only in the Vault of Glass, but they could be pretty strong, so give us your thoughts down below. And so without actually playing the raid, that is everything there currently is to know about rewards, loot tables, and objectives. So I hope the video has been useful, guys. Give us any of your thoughts about it down below. But as always, I hope you enjoy the Vault of Glass. And if you've enjoyed this video, a rating below really does help us out on the channel as well. But also feel free to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more D2 content. But for now, I hope you have an awesome day.